Yo, 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 yo. Y'all know what time it is, and we are back with another episode of...
It's Nessa M3GA Time.
You already know. So, what's going on, man?
Man, we are fucking blowing up.
On fire?
On episode 1.
On episode
we're like,
1.
I don't know what episode we're on right now. It doesn't really matter because it'll air when it airs, but fuck, man. What the hell? We can't have opinions, I guess.
Well, you know what I feel about that. I mean, everybody has an opinion, so, I mean, we can always have our opinion. Everybody should be able to have an opinion, you know, without everybody getting sore in the ass, you know what I mean? But it just doesn't happen that way.
They told us that if we're going to be in this kind of life or limelight, if you want to call it.
Wait, who did?
A lot of people told us.
They did?
Yeah.
Well,
let me finish my statement. Yeah,
so I can respond to that.
If we're going to be in this type of business, that we have to have a certain kind of skin, and we're fucking strong. Me and you, I think
I got elephant skin. So
we're pretty fucking strong people. But and I will say, like, if I was a weak ass little biatch, man, you guys would get to me. But I do not care, because when I was fucking damn near 300 pounds, you couldn't tell me shit then, so you can't tell me shit now.
So I mean, just based off opinions of clips and things that they haven't even seen the full.
Exactly.
See. It's one of those people who like those people who like stop you mid conversation or butt in mid conversation and think they know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Or they don't know, they're not intelligent enough to actually have something to say back that will create dialogue.
Emotional responders.
They go ahead and attack your appearance, which is fucking crazy, because I'm fucking beautiful, so it doesn't really matter what the fuck you got to say.
Hey, let them know. Let them fucking know. But I mean, you know what? Those people are good for us.
Oh, they are.
They're good. We love you guys too. You know
I grew up with, first of all, let's be clear, I grew up with 2 brothers. Can't none of y'all, and I have my son's father, can't nobody.
And me.
And him. Can't nobody tell me nothing or do or say or
but I mean,
that's going to get to me.
But I mean.
I've heard it all.
But like I told you before, this is what we're here for. You know, we don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't care.
I don't care.
You know, it is what it is. This is what we're here for.
And you know who else prepared me for this? The greatest motivation of all, TikTok. TikTok has prepared me for war.
Hey, man. TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. You know what I mean?
I think we're ready for Facebook now.
Facebook? Oh, shit. That's a whole different rabbit hole, man. Facebook is like...
Man.
I swear it's like the morgue. I feel like it's so depressing in there. Like
You think so?
Every time I hit that damn blue app with the F on it, it really just says "fuck you" to me.
You gotta.
No, like I don't know if it's the people that I fuck. Like it's always they're so emotional.
Change your algorithm.
I don't know. I don't go in there enough. All I do is post. Like, I don't even because I got Facebook for family. You know what I mean? Not for like distant family like that. I don't see often, but. Man, bro.
But my algorithm is all like how to make cakes and
on Facebook
and puppies.
Nah, man. I be seeing like people getting beat on.
Oh.
I just see people talking about
it's your
like
algorithm,
life.
brother. Like you gotta change that.
And the crazy part is people that I know. Like, and so it's like weird to me. Like, and like I see people talking about other people or other men or like this person is like that. I think they literally use Facebook to go and express themselves because they don't know how to talk to themselves or deal with themselves. That's what I'm starting to believe. I mean, I could be wrong. Hey, I might be wrong, but that's what I'm starting to feel.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, my algorithm is cakes and puppies. So I don't, even with family, like they all.
Well, maybe you got some good family and they just on a, you know what I mean?
And puppies and engagements and shit. Shout out to my family.
I swear I don't know what the fuck be going on there. I mean, I get sports stuff sometimes, but when I really go down on the feed, man, it's a little bit much. I like the morgue. Like these people are, I don't know, they're from a different place. I feel like.
Yeah.
But then I see them in the store and they acting like all giddy and shit.
Well, you know, Robin Williams proved that depression can look in many
we already
ways.
know that.
Yeah.
We know that.
Never believe Instagram or Facebook.
No.
Or even somebody
I feel like they're telling the truth on Facebook. Because like I said, when I see them out in public, it's like, oh, hey, yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
And they go on that particular one because I have some of the same people on IG. It's not the same.
Yeah,
but they go on Facebook literally to like vent and get off whatever personal issues that they're having with someone else or something that isn't going their way or the whatever it may be. They just find the way to vent and have people I feel like they use it for validation.
Well, social media is definitely used for validation.
Now, that particular one is like for sure that one.
Facebook, yeah.
For sure. But anyway, off that other shit, you know.
I had to get that shit off my chest real quick.
But how's your week been, man? You been good?
It's been good, dude.
Yeah.
I was battling with a little bit of seasonal depression when it comes to my workouts and stuff. So, I called your ass and asked if I could work out with you a couple times.
Yeah, you did.
To get that fucking fire under my ass again. But I'm back. It's been a good 2.5 weeks of consistent workouts. I did a lot of inner work, which is awesome. And I think when somebody says, "Oh, I'm dealing with seasonal depression," people think like, "Damn, what a sad ass person," or "You don't love yourself." Whatever. That has nothing to do with it. Seasonal depression can look in so many different ways and be caused by so many different things, right? Me personally, it was raining. What the fuck, you know? Like I need some sunshine. I need some.
But I don't. I'm one of the people. I don't like rain. But I'm a fighter.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm gonna go out there.
Yeah. So I went and worked out. How was your week?
Great. I don't even want to talk about what I do because you all know what I do. But anyway, question.
Answers.
Because this is one of our guys, man. Our boy Yee has been on a fucking rant.
Listen.
Hey, my boy is.
I love me some Yeezy. You already know, and that's why you're bringing that shit up because I'd ride or die for him.
No, listen, dog. Because I fuck with Yee too, but dog, my boy is on a kicker right now, boy.
We know that he does things for attention,
but he also has an album coming out.
He has a few albums coming out actually, and
Bully's the one right now.
Bully's the one, but he also has, I think he has another gospel album coming out. Believe it or not, even though he's ranting about anti-Semitic crap, but he's also told you guys that he does shit for market research. He does this all the time.
It's no different than 50 starting beefs.
50 starts a lot of beef.
I like that guy. I like those guys. They're good.
You know what I like about 50?
Yeah.
Is that he doesn't sugarcoat his assholeness.
No, and you shouldn't.
He's like, I'm an asshole, and this is what it is. This is what you're going to get.
If you don't like it,
don't be in my life.
Fuck you.
Don't watch it. Don't listen to it. Turn around.
Yeah, that's it.
And the difference between Yeezy and 50 is that
he don't backtrack.
Yeezy does a little backtracking. A little bit.
Sometimes.
He does.
But I think he does it in the time of where he knows like he got what he wants.
Yeah.
Like he got what he wanted out of the situation.
Exactly.
That's the feel. So I don't feel like, for instance, like, right, somebody was like, well, I thought you just hated Drake. Now you don't like Kendrick. But he never said he didn't like Kendrick.
No, he never said that.
He said, I don't like his music.
Yes.
I don't like the way he raps.
Which I think is...
that you can have that opinion. It's cool. Like, whatever, bro.
I think it's bullshit, but it is his opinion. I don't believe that that's true. But I think he does it for clout.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to call it bullshit because I've never heard of him looking for a Kendrick as an artist either. So I've never looked at him to say, hey, that guy right there, boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
So, but is it okay for him to have that opinion?
Yes. Anybody...
Because some people are mad about him having that opinion.
Well, people are going to be mad no matter what. It doesn't
just because it's him, I think that people get mad.
I mean, shit, people get mad about our opinion all the fucking time now. So it doesn't really fucking matter.
Fuck him.
So I like I said, Team Easy all day. I don't agree with his... I do not agree with his comments, and I do not support anti... stuff like that, right? So
get the fucking word out because the S's we're about to start going.
You can't say it.
Fucking list.
No.
Anti-Semitic.
I know why she's not saying it because
of the S's.
No, because of YouTube.
Yeah.
She's smart.
Yeah, you can't say certain things.
Well, just like I said,
she's not saying it because she can't say it. She's saying it because she don't want to say it.
Yeah.
But we're not saying it towards
it's
anybody.
It's like saying the P
what
word.
I said, like what I said last time.
Yes. Yeah. It's like us saying the P word. We can't say that.
What did you say last time?
Shh.
All right, anyways, we have a great guest today.
A great guest. She just exposed herself. She wasn't supposed to say anything. But anyway,
we have a great guest. If you guys don't know, now you know. I am a cancer survivor. We're going to be talking about cancer and how other people survive it.
Pretty much. And there's different types, and we would like to learn about a few and how do you get through a few. Yeah. If you know what I mean. So
for sure,
we're going to bring this person on. This is like a longtime family friend. We have been through hell and back, you know what I mean? And so I'll tell you her name. Her name is Lori Johnson, and we about to bring her out, yo.
Government name, damn. All right.
Had to. There we go. Let's get it.
This shit is bigger than me. Give me my flowers while I can still breathe. I'm smelling the glory, I tasted defeat. Nothing feels better than chasing your dreams. Yeah. This shit is bigger than me. Give me my flowers while I can still breathe. I'm smelling the glory, I tasted defeat. Nothing feels better than chasing your dreams. Yeah. Given my history, nothing compared to me, nothing come next to me. No. Claiming my victories, can't let you win with me unless you sit with us. Yeah. Given my history, victory, nothing compared to me, nothing come next to me, no, no. Claiming my victories, can't let you win with me unless you sit with us, yeah.
King at a table, shit on a label, just like my hoes when they kicked out the stage.
You heard?
We're back.
We are back. Yeah, you heard? We back. So what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Finally got you up here.
You finally did, yeah.
Finally got you up here.
Finally did.
How you feeling?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel really old, but I feel good. As a matter of fact, I'm coming up on 1 year, no cancer.
Congratulations.
And that's a high five for that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good job. You know?
Yeah. So,
So let's start off to discussing that. Let's start
Sure.
off. What kind of cancer did you have?
I had non-small cell lung cancer.
Okay.
I had a tumor the size of a softball
Where? In your lung?
right here
Oh,
in my lung,
okay.
my upper left lung.
Okay.
It pushed on my heart. It did a lot of damage while it was there. Had no idea. No clue. No clue.
You didn't feel the
Well,
softball in your chest?
No.
Well, hold on. So we're gonna backtrack.
No, I knew we would.
Yeah, we're gonna have to backtrack because
Can I get Lori's mic a little bit closer here?
yeah.
Just point it. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so do you remember when you were coming into the gym
Yep.
and I would get on you about being so like the energy,
Yeah, I had no energy.
and I would
This is
tell
before the cancer.
this is before,
diagnosis.
and I would
Before
tell her, and I would
diagnosis.
tell her, hey, you need to go and like
Get checked.
get yourself checked out because there's no way out of the time that me and her have been training for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we started in 2011,
2012.
2012?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Fitness 19?
Yes, Fitness
Yeah.
19
Okay.
when I worked at Fitness 19. And, you know, great results. You know what I mean? As always, just so y'all know.
It's true. It's true. What,
And
87 pounds?
Yes.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that, too.
If you ever want to see a picture, let me know. I still got it in my pocketbook. But so speed up to right now. We kept having conversations. She would get upset with me.
I would.
She would get upset because I'm pushing. You know how I am when I
Yeah,
train.
yeah.
And I'm pushing. And she was like, I just noticed, like, why the hell is she breathing so damn hard? Like, if
Yeah.
you're training like this,
You should get eventually used to it. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was. At one point, I was.
Yeah, but
stamina should be built up.
That time, it was just like, nah, it was not progressing at all. It was like degressing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. And me and her got into it one day. And I said, hey, if you want to be in here, you know I'm gonna push you. It is what it is.
Yep.
And so she had a doctor's appointment. And she told me, you know what I mean? And I was like, you know, I knew something was wrong because there's no way, like, you're not seeing
Building stamina,
nothing.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was bad.
Okay.
So
So are you a smoker?
I was. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
For how many years?
They asked me that when I was diagnosed.
Yeah,
They said,
Lori,
"How many years have you been
let's tell-
smoking?" And I looked right at them. I said, 63 years.
So you were smoking for 63 years.
Well, my parents smoked.
So you were just pretty
So-
much a creature of habit.
Well, my parents smoked. They smoked in the house. They
Right,
smoked in
right.
the car. They smoked
Yeah.
everywhere. I got to 14. I started smoking. And I went in and out. When I was pregnant, I didn't smoke. Quit for 3 years, went to Europe. Everybody smokes in Europe.
Yeah, they do.
Start smoking again. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. He didn't know I smoked for a long time.
Really?
no, I did. Remember I told you. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah, you did.
I called you one day on FaceTime.
Yeah.
And I saw you trying to walk in the fucking house. And I said,
He was outside smoking.
Yeah.
dog. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't miss shit.
Yeah.
Then, you know, and it just over time, but I know because I've been around smokers too before my life. I just never said, because it was not something you just go and just ask somebody, you know what I mean?
I think
But I lied to everybody.
But I've been around it though.
Yeah,
so that's how
my
I
dad
know.
was a smoker, so even when he tried to quit, there's this scent that stays on you even after you shower,
Oh.
you brush your teeth, no matter what. There's a
So-
scent of a,
But
of
it
a
Yeah.
turned
cigarette
your
smell.
skin.
Oh,
It-
yeah.
It was through it for her was the skin.
Yeah. It would come through. My son and his wife, when they had their firstborn in 2021, they said, yeah, he can't come to your house. And I go, I don't smoke in my house, and I didn't. And
still
and
stays.
they said, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was the same with my son. I didn't like him being around people. Who
Yeah.
So, back to the cancer, right? So okay, so you had a golf ball. You said golf ball? Softball on your chest, and you didn't even notice it at all.
No. Didn't feel it.
It didn't lump out. It didn't feel. No. You didn't feel anything in your chest.
No, there was nothing here.
So it was so deep inside.
It was inside the lung. Yeah. So it was underneath my sternum.
Right. Ooh, underneath the sternum.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where your lung is, right?
Right. Sorry.
So I had worked out with Telly. It was April 2nd. I worked out with Martella, and I had walked 5 miles that day. We did abs that day, and it was so hard. I'll never forget it. I was just dying, and but I did it. And I woke up the next day, and I had a fever of 102.3, and my back hurt so bad.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, I got a kidney infection. Great. So I called the advice doctor. Yeah, it sounds like you got a kidney infection. I'm going to put in a prescription for you. You're going to feel right in 2-3 days.
Right.
I did not.
For 2 to 3 days, no. Nothing.
No, I still had a fever every day. And my fevers would range from 102.5 to 104.
Wow.
Every day.
Okay.
And so I went to urgent care, and they said, oh, no, you don't have a bladder infection or a kidney infection. What you have is diverticulitis.
I remember you said that.
Yeah, which is an infection of your intestines.
Ooh.
All right. My dad had that. Mom had that. My brother had that. It's a family thing. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, we're going to give you stronger antibiotics. We're going to give you some pain medication. You're going to be okay in about a week. I was not okay in about a week.
What happened?
I still had the fevers.
The fevers are staying.
Every single day.
Yeah.
I had fever after fever.
Wasn't it like for like a month? It
was 4 months in total.
Yeah.
So you were going through all this for 4 months. You never once wanted to go to the ER?
I did. So towards the end of April, I called the advice doctor again, said, this isn't working. She goes, you have all the signs of being septic. You need to go to the ER.
Yeah. A month?
Yeah. So I went to the ER, and they did all these tests, and they took vial after vial of blood. It all came back negative, and they said, we don't know what's wrong with you, but we're going to hook you up with a...
give you medicine.
Well, give me medicine, but they're going to hook me up with an infectious disease doctor.
So you went to the ER. Mm-hmm. They didn't provide a PET scan, a CAT scan, or MRI?
They did.
Remember,
they did do a CAT scan from lower lobe down.
Instead of doing the full body.
Right.
When you could have been septic, which is... when your whole blood is infected,
right?
Wouldn't you think to do the whole body?
I said that shit too.
Yeah, they actually did do an X-ray of my upper half,
but
right?
that wouldn't show though, right? Because of X-ray.
But what happened was, as the doctor said, and I quote, "They're really slammed in the X-ray department. We're going to go ahead and send you home. It's fine. They're just really busy. That's why your results haven't come in."
What hospital is this?
It's Kaiser.
Off of Nason?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kaiser will do it.
On Iris. So I went home, and then my primary physician called me 3 days later, and she said, "Lori, we need to talk about the mass in your chest." I'm what? She goes, "You have a big mass in your chest. Mm-hmm. I've got you in touch with a pulmonologist. They're going to call you later today. You're going to have a biopsy and all this stuff."
Yeah.
So I went and I had my biopsy, and on May 15th of 2023, that's when I found out I had lung cancer. And my first question to him is, am I going to die?
Yeah.
And he said, no.
He said no?
Yes. He said, no, you're not going to die.
Legally, they're not even allowed to say that.
He did. And I said, okay.
There's sometimes, like, even in situations.
So
I've gotten certain work done that they'll tell you right there.
Yeah, so
they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed. No, but he came right out and said, "No, you're not going to die."
They can't guarantee anything.
So I that's when it started, and I had to have exploratory surgery, and I had that July 12th. That's the day I quit smoking, and I just went, "That's it. It's done. I'm not, and I will never put anything in my lungs ever."
And so that was July of last year?
July of 2023.
2023.
So it'll be 2 years coming up.
So what was your treatment process? How many chemos, radiation?
Chemo is the most horrible thing I've ever been through in my life. It was, I can't, I knew my hair was going to fall out. I knew that. Okay, right? You know, chemo, your hair is going to fall out. Okay, I'm okay with that. I knew I was going to be nauseous. I did not know my skin was going to peel.
Yes, your nails fall off.
My nails fell off. My eyelashes left me. That's hair.
Your teeth get brittle.
Yes, I have to have an implant now because my teeth got ruined during chemo.
Literally killing you from the inside.
Yeah,
But
it was poison.
It's trying to attack the cancer cells, obviously. There's a reason why it's doing all that.
Exactly.
What stage cancer did they tell you
They
had?
staged me at 3A.
Lord.
And
I knew that.
Huh?
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
Yes,
stage
3A.
Yeah, stage 3 is really close to stage 4.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty, and they did that because it was so big.
Yeah.
Now, what saved me is that it had not metastasized.
Oh, good.
So it had not spread anywhere. It was just the
Right.
tumor.
Yeah.
So the plan was they were going to go in and they were going to take part of my lung out and do surgery. I'm incompatible with any major surgery because I smoked for 63 years.
Yeah.
Right? So they said I wouldn't come off the ventilator. Great. That's awesome. What now?
Breathe. You wouldn't even be able to learn how to breathe again.
No, I
Nobody
wouldn't.
wouldn't even be able to.
Yeah. I wouldn't come off the. And I said, "What? Okay, so what's next?" They said radiation. All right, so then I went down every day for 6 weeks. Monday through Friday, I went to radiation. And I had none of the side effects they said I was going to have. Radiation was fairly easy for me.
Yeah.
I didn't get sick. I didn't. My skin didn't burn. I didn't. I have 5 tattoos now because they tattoo you where they need the radiation to go. And I asked for teardrops, and they said no.
You was trying to be gangster in there.
Yeah, I was. I go, just dots. She goes. She had no sense of humor.
Yeah, they're very cold when it comes to the.
Yeah, I go. Yeah, I'd like a let's teardrops would be great. 3 teardrops, right? And we don't do that here. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm cracking myself up, so I was laughing on the table. So,
So when you found out you had cancer, I want to know if it's okay with you if you want to talk about it. What your emotional thought, how you were emotionally, and what your thought process was in. Because everybody has a different story, right? I can give you what happened to me when they told me and what I went through for the first 24 hours. But what was your thought process after you asked them, am I going to die? And they said no.
right. And he said no, like it was the stupidest question I could have asked.
Right.
And I went, oh, okay. And then I just shut down, completely shut down. I didn't cry. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't do anything. I was still battling those fevers.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was exhausted.
Yeah.
And again, every day, I mean, I would wake up in the middle of the night and my nightshirt would be so wet that I could literally wring it out because I was just sweating. So it was awful. It was just awful, horrendous.
Right.
I don't know how single people do it because my husband was there for me every step of the way.
That's
like
beautiful.
he went to every appointment. Sorry.
No, it's
No,
okay.
you're good. There's a place for it.
He went to every appointment. He went to every scan. He went every place I went. He was right there. Still now.
That's beautiful. Oh, that was my next question was.
Shout out to Greg, man.
That was my next question.
Even though he's a Seahawks fan, but yeah.
Yeah. He can't be perfect.
I know it's all good. He's a Virgo though, so it's all good.
Yeah. And we've been married 39 years.
Yeah.
So we've been married a minute.
So emotionally, you're obviously devastated. You're still trying to heal from the fevers.
Right.
And you have a partner that you told you have cancer stage 3A.
Right.
What was his thoughts? How did he react?
So he didn't. My husband is a scientist. I mean, he has no emotionals up or down. Okay,
Nice.
He's just and he said, "Okay, we'll get through this together, baby. We'll get through it together." I said, "Okay."
But that's what a man should do. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't. That's I don't care what. That's if the man flexes out and just trips out, it is going to be all bad for the woman. Because you need a backbone. You know what I'm saying? At that point.
I needed him to be strong, and he was. He cried in front of our son. He got upset in front of our son. I wasn't around.
Okay, so he basically was was emotional with your son, who
Right.
was his support system probably.
Yeah,
Even though
probably.
his mom is going through cancer. What was your
Yeah.
son's reaction?
He was mad.
Yeah.
Because he'd been telling me for years, you need to quit, stop smoking.
I know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Hey.
And
Who
I
smokes in
asked
your
him.
family?
And my mom used to smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Big
surprise.
time.
Okay,
And
sorry.
I said some crazy stuff to her as a kid. I hated it.
Oh, yeah.
And then like as we got older, she would always say, I don't check my neck. And go to the doctor. Go, you know what I mean? Because don't just be telling me you feel something. Like, go. I don't want to, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, my mom used to smoke for a long time. I think she stopped when I was about, I want to say 13, 12,
For
13.
her, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The same
it
thing
was-
she's talking about, like parents smoking in the car. Like I would those drives back home from LA and stuff like that. Like, out here it's just
That's
like
what it
dude,
was. That generation. That's what they did.
Yeah.
Well, I remember smoking in the grocery store,
thinking that
Yeah.
the windows
on
roll-
airplanes, in the hospital.
So it's just part of your day to day life.
Everybody smoked.
Yeah.
I remember watching our priest smoke and my teacher smoke and
That's crazy. Where was this at?
Everywhere.
Up north?
everywhere.
Up
Yeah.
north or- I know you lived
Yeah,
in Maine
in
too, so-
Pleasanton, yeah. San Francisco Bay Area and Seattle. I remember my grandmother smoked once and I was like horrified. You're not supposed to smoke.
Grandma?
But yeah, it was everywhere. Everybody smoked.
Yeah.
Everybody did. When I got caught smoking when I was a teenager, my mom said, just do it in front of me.
Yeah.
I'd rather have you do it in front of me than behind my back. Cool.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So your son's reaction to you having
He
something
was
with angry?
he was sad. He started crying, and I said, "Don't cry for me. Don't. And he said, "I'll cry for you if I want to cry for you. You don't get to tell me how to feel." So we kind of had an argument,
Fucking
and
Brian.
I know, right? Fucking Brian. And I could tell he was angry, but he got over it. He got over it.
because they have to be there for you. So during your whole treatments of everything, the timeline of it all, right?
So I had chemo first, and my chemo, everybody's chemo's different.
Everybody, yep,
And I went Thursdays, and I had 7 hours of chemo.
right.
And then I went back exactly a week later and had 3 hours of chemo. And then I had a week off.
Yep.
So that was one round, those 2 sessions. So I had 4 rounds of chemo, and my hair came out. My hair started coming out in
Right,
clumps.
right.
Now, I don't know about you, girl, but when I see wild hair in the wild, I even if it's mine, it makes me, it just is
You
disgusting.
don't like loose hair, yeah.
No. So I had 2 clumps come out, and I went, that's it, Greg, let's go.
Shave it.
I shaved it.
My mom was the same way.
Took it down to a 1. And then I stayed that way. It never.
you were done, right?
Yeah, it didn't fall out anymore, but it didn't grow either. So, and I mean, chemo is just vile and vicious, and I was so sick. I was hospitalized twice. The first time I was hospitalized was because my blood pressure was 60 over 30.
Isn't it crazy how it drops or it goes way, 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 way high?
Right, yeah.
There's no like gray area.
No,
It's
and they
either black or white.
Yeah, and they go, yeah, you have to go to the hospital. So
Yep.
I was put in the hospital for about a week and then got out. And then I got COVID while I was in the hospital. And
Yeah.
I got COVID.
Because your immune system is so low.
Yeah, you have no immune system.
That, yeah, it's bad.
So I had a doctor call.
Oh my God. That's the Lord.
Hello?
trying
I'm
to tell
sorry.
What's happening? Okay, go ahead.
A week after.
Try not to
Tap
slap
on the table.
Yeah.
Oh, was that me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
the wall.
it was this. The wall.
Yeah. You can go like this, but just try not to like tap.
Okay.
Yeah. You can talk with your hands or freely, whatever. Just try not to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, chemo brain, what?
Oh, you're saying that your immune system was so compromised. You got
Oh yeah,
COVID.
I got COVID. So this doctor called me a week later. They call you and how you feeling, Miss Lori? And he was all cheerful. I go, I have fucking COVID and cancer. How the fuck do you think I feel? I made him
My mom-
reevaluate.
No, you
Parental
get
advisory.
angry. Chemo anger is different.
Yeah, I was
Chemo
pissed.
anger is different.
Yeah, I was really angry.
Yeah.
But the time I got really super emotional, everybody sent me cards and I had all this love and prayers and it was wonderful. And somebody sent me a card and it had the word cancer on the front of it and it was in shiny paper. And the sunlight hit that, and I saw it, and I just started to cry. Yeah. And I cried for 3.5 hours, nonstop. I was by myself.
Yeah.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
And this is for both of you, honestly, because obviously I've never dealt with it, or known anybody close to me that's ever dealt with it, right? So there's so many different. You had lung cancer. What was yours?
Uterine.
Then we have breast cancer. Then we have bone cancer. I'm, not to be a conspiracy theorist, right? But genetically, do you feel like those things are attached to you just by something genetically that you have within your family? Or
Yes.
do you feel it could be something that you consume over time in life?
I think it's both.
Honestly, I think.
Or do you think that is just put in the air?
I think for me, it was what I was consuming. Because I had a pitch perfect health up until I had cancer. But before that, I had gained a massive amount of weight in a very fast amount of time. I was pregnant. And when I was pregnant, I only gained like 20 pounds when I was pregnant. So I was still pretty healthy.
Right.
And then as soon as postpartum depression hit, I ate everything. Within 3 months, I gained maybe 100 pounds.
What the fuck?
So just imagine your body consuming all this toxic food, and then you're depressed, you're stressed. Depression and stress, I think, is like the most deadliest
Combination of things. For any human being.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The Chevrolet side of my family, that's my maiden name is Chevrolet.
Right.
And they all, my dad had 9 siblings, and every single one of them died of cancer.
So genetically attached.
Yeah.
Were they? I got questions now because it might not be genetic. It might be what they were doing. Are they heavy set people?
Yes.
Okay, there's that. Are they typically?
I mean, somewhere, I don't really know them.
Okay.
Okay. My family moved out to the West Coast in 1965, and at that time, we couldn't afford to call.
Yeah.
And we sure didn't go back there, so I never
You
knew
talking about when
them.
you moved from Maine?
Yeah. They're all in Maine.
So my mom had breast cancer, right? And again, another perfectly healthy individual. My mom was an extremely fit person, right? She ran every fucking day, ate extremely clean. What I believe caused her cancer was her stress and depression. As soon as she had her stroke was caused by something completely different, right? Her stroke was caused by a tooth infection. It's a whole story behind it. Yeah. But her cancer, I truly, truly believe was caused by her stress and depression, because that is what she deals with after her stroke. She has been stressed and depressed since then. And she's had her stroke 12 years ago. Gotcha. So just imagine living with stress and depression for that long, and then depression medication that she takes the highest dose.
And that's it right there too.
Yeah.
So and I've always thought about that. Like, like I said, I don't know anybody personally other than you two that I can really sit and say, you know what I mean? For me personally. But, like, I have my theories that, like, it has to be something that we're consuming. You know?
I definitely think, well, for me, I mean, there was no doubt. They just looked me straight in the face and said, this is the kind of cancer you get when you smoke.
Exactly.
Period. Yeah. I mean,
60-some years. I mean, you're lucky that.
But then I've heard people, it's crazy, like I've heard people that stopped smoking or stopped doing something in that nature, and then they got cancer. They never had it while they had it.
No.
But they were doing the activities or whatever.
I think that it goes unseen for so long. I think that you, I think that you have it. It's just dormant.
It can be microscopic as well, which is why they don't tell me that I'm in remission, because they can't tell.
You can't.
Surgery was the only way to get rid of it fully.
Right.
But
tumor, right?
But I was incompatible with that.
But I think, I don't know, correct. Let me know if you think the way I think, right? Because we're both gone through this. But when they're removing something from your body, you still can't tell they can't tell a patient it's 100% gone. Right? There's still little, like you said, microscopic cells or something that your body created inside of you that created the cancer. So it's possible at any time that your body can create that again at any place in your body now.
So when you're depressed and when you're stressed, you create something called cortisol.
Cortisol, yeah.
Well, that's a hormone.
Yeah, but that can also be detrimental if it's produced way too much.
You're right. So that's a stress hormone.
Yeah.
And yes, obviously, if that hormone is highly elevated, it can cause,
cancer.
Yeah.
That's what the doctor told me. That's what happened to me. He said my cortisol level was is so high. My hormone, if you take your blood work, your hormones will show you how fucked up your body is.
Right. So, saying that real quick, let me get into the camera. So I say this every single time. I don't know if you remember me saying this. People, don't just go and get a regular blood panel done either. Get your hormones checked as well. Yep. Please do. I say this so much because we don't know. And the one thing that they don't tell us to do is to get our hormones checked.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, that is a very major, important piece of your body. Hormones is a major piece of your body that on your daily function for you to just get through the day and get through whatever you got to get through. Trust me. So when you getting those other blood levels checked and all that stuff, make sure you're getting a hormonal panel as well.
I have to say that Kaiser is probably one of the places that I dislike the most because if you don't advocate for yourself, you will not get properly treated.
I believe that's true everywhere. You have to be your best advocate for yourself.
Everywhere.
I was really lucky in a lot of ways. It had not metastasized. That was the biggest luck, right? Lung cancer is almost completely fatal.
Yeah.
It's like ovarian cancer. It's very silent. There's no pain. I was never in pain.
Yeah.
I never had any pain at all. You go, oh, doesn't this hurt? No. But I was uncomfortable. Chemo was hard.
Yeah.
Radiation, my thyroid was fried during radiation. So, and we didn't know that, and I was having all kinds of problems around Christmas time this year. So it's been almost a year. It'll be a year on the 29th of March. That was my last radiation treatment. And I'm still feeling side effects. But the reason I wanted to come and talk about my story and my journey, well, first of all, don't smoke. Don't fucking do it.
Don't smoke.
Don't fucking do it. Don't even start. Don't fucking do it. I don't care how cool you think you look because you don't.
And these kids be on these fucking vapes, man.
Oh, vapes are worse. Vapes, they told me vapes are worse. Man. They're beginning to see some things now, and vapes are worse than cigarettes. So don't put anything in your lungs.
Right.
I know for a fact that if I had not been working out with Martel for the 10 years prior to me getting cancer, I would not be sitting here today. I don't mean sitting in here. I mean being alive today.
So you're advocating that moving your body and and having activity has helped you prolong your life.
Absolutely, without a doubt, and it did it in two ways. One, Martel makes me uncomfortable. I hate to fucking exercise. I fucking hate it.
Fuck, bro.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
and he knows that.
Yeah.
I don't like to sweat. I fucking hate it. But I go, huh?
Yeah.
And I was really faithful about going. And
arguments and all type of shit.
Oh yeah. But I would go. I would go and just keep going and it taught me that I could be uncomfortable
and fight through some shit.
And there was another side to that.
Yep.
It wasn't going to last forever. So when I was going through chemo, and although chemo doesn't hurt when you're actually physically getting it done, right? It's like day 4 when you wake up and go, oh, fuck, I got hit by a train. What happened? I knew that it was temporary. Okay, when I lost my hair, I did cry when I lost my hair. I didn't think I was going to, but I did because when the barber took that first swipe, I'm like, oh.
Damn. Yeah.
I'm not going to be cute like Demi Moore was. Great. Awesome. G.I. Jane.
I know G.I.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it is. So that was the first way.
Right. Did you work out during chemo?
Oh no. They wanted me, my surgeon said if you walk a mile every day, you can have surgery, and I could not. I literally could not.
Felt that bad, yeah.
It was bad, huh? I was really. He came over to see me a couple times.
Yeah.
I was really bad. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
In your process of after, so now you're done with your treatments. And you have surgery, correct?
No, I'd never had the surgery.
So the tumor got smaller on its own?
Tumor went away. There's no evidence of the tumor.
Oh, thank God.
As we speak. I have CAT scans every 3 to 4 months.
Right. So now they tell you are...
No evidence.
No evidence.
No evidence of the tumor.
And what is your thought process then?
You know, I
want to
look
go
back.
and do a bunch of drugs, go to
No.
Vegas. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's 82 again. Wow.
I'm just kidding.
No.
Sheesh.
82 was a good year.
Hey, I know I was born.
My roommate was dealing a coke dealer. We really had a good time.
That's a good time.
Fuck, man.
So we no. It's so. In a lot of ways, it was like me starting working out again. Like, so I got up to about 300 pounds, and decided, well, this probably isn't healthy. So I start to go see somebody that really didn't help me, and then I start seeing Martell, and I lost 87 pounds just on my own.
Good for you.
And I felt really strong.
Yeah.
You know, I felt really strong. I felt really good. And so when I got better, I'm still really weak.
Right.
You know, I'm still.
But what do I tell you about that?
It'll come.
No. Not what I tell you about you calling yourself weak.
Yeah, don't. I'm not
You can't be weak and go through all of that shit. This is for anybody. Like,
You're strong.
It's
if
true.
you're a strong person, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you get up from certain things that could have really put you under, you're not a weak person. And you can't call yourself that. I mean, you can, but we got to look at the reality. Because if you were weak, you still wouldn't be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's true. And I unfortunately I still remember what I was like when I was working out with him before. And I go to do those things now, and it's really hard.
Comparison, you
can't
can't
look
do that.
back.
I know,
You
but I
gotta
do.
look forward.
And my son tells me all the time, Mom, you don't appreciate what you've been through.
Yeah.
And he kept telling me that. And I finally sat down not too long ago, and I went, you know, I didn't have the flu. And that's what I'm acting like. I'm acting like I had the flu.
Like it's just some regular stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
get up and you go on, right?
Yeah.
And I went back to work 10 days after radiation was done.
Yeah.
And my radiation oncologist said, "Why did you do that? Did they make you do that?" And I go, "No, I wanted to do that." And he goes, "Oh, okay." I mean, he was just so surprised.
But I think that kind of helps you get healthier also because you're not dormant. You're not just sitting there waiting for
Exactly.
life to just happen, right? You're moving, you're distracting yourself. And I think when you sit there and actually just do nothing,
Yeah.
you have a higher chance of it not going away.
Right, when you bed rot.
Yeah.
Right? You just, yeah.
Feeling sorry for yourself just sitting there.
And you just get darker and darker and darker, right? You get in that hole.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that. And I went back to work and I had my second grandbaby and I retired from work
Oh, awesome.
because I wanted to do it my way.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
yes.
You're back in
now-
the gym.
And I'm back at the gym. Yeah, I'm back at the
Look
gym.
at God.
So I've had a couple setbacks since the beginning of my journey, but I don't stay down for long, or I try not to.
What do you feel is your, if you can give somebody advice of somebody going through what you've gone through, what would you give them? What kind of advice would you give them?
I would tell them it will get better. It's time. And time is just awful, right? When you're going through some shit, whether it's grief, and with cancer, it's kind of, and I know a lot about grief too, but with cancer, it's like grief.
Yep.
And you go through all the same stages and
Yep.
you know, when I had 2 children that passed away at birth.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And I remember my dad saying, Lori Diane, and he only called me Lori Diane whenever we were serious. He goes, Lori Diane, you're going to think of these babies every second of every day. And tomorrow, you're going to think of them every other second. And you will be okay. It just takes time. And I'm like, time sucks. I hate time. And it's the same thing. You will get through it. It will end. The pain will end.
Yeah.
It will stop.
Yeah.
You just have to hang in there.
And for those, I think, speaking to those who are going through it and are at stage 4, where they're telling you that, basically be comfortable, because that's what they told my mom when they thought she
Did
had
she
stage
pass?
4. No, she's still
Oh.
thank God. But before they told her she had stage 3, they told her she had stage 4. And when they tell you this, nobody tells you this, but when they don't put this in the movies, right? But when they tell you have stage 4, they'll tell you exactly like this. There's nothing we can do for you.
Yeah.
It's up to you what you really want to do. You can have chemo, you got radiation, but live
It's
your
not going to
life.
help.
I saw. Look,
Live your life.
I saw a this. It was like a short, like some clip that I was watching on on TikTok.
I'm gonna forget what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Sorry. But for those who are told that you have stage 4, do not allow what they're telling you to stop you from believing that you can be any other stage. Because when they told my mom she had stage 4, and then it turns out she was stage 3. So don't give up just because somebody tells you have stage 4.
Right.
And I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person, not so much a religious person. Although I'm a cradle Catholic, but
Right.
I'm a really bad Catholic. Really, really bad. Anyway, I felt the prayers. I felt the good thoughts. Literally.
You have to believe it.
Literally felt it though. I mean, it was a tangible feeling that I can't explain it, but I felt it. And all the thoughts into the universe, the prayers, whatever you want to call it. I had the Mormons going for me. I had the synagogues down in Riverside praying for me. I had some Muslim in their temples praying for me.
That's beautiful.
I had, the Catholics. I went for everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, any prayer is needed.
Buddhists. My nail tech is a Buddhist, and she had a whole thing for me.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
you're a good tipper.
I guess so. But I absolutely felt that. Reach out to family and friends. I did. I reached out. I was embarrassed that I had cancer. I was embarrassed that.
That one right there.
Yeah, I was embarrassed.
So what? And I mean, like I said, obviously, I don't know what it's like, but what was embarrassing about it?
I smoked. I knew the dangers.
You feel like you did it to yourself.
Right.
I do,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's fair enough to say, but just say, right, that ain't the reason that would have been. You feel like it would still be the same feeling for you?
What?
Say like if it wasn't that you knew that you smoked. Say you
Right.
didn't smoke, right, and you still had lung cancer, because obviously you can still get lung cancer.
Right, you
without
can.
smoking.
You absolutely can.
Would you still would have had that feeling of embarrassment?
Probably not.
No, probably not. Yeah.
No.
Because even me,
Fair
like,
to say.
I was embarrassed
Why?
because I gained all that weight on my own. I ate those fucking Big Macs. Nobody else forced me
Say
to
it
eat
again.
that.
Girl, there's
Like
nothing like a Big Mac.
girl.
Yeah.
Hey, did you get the strawberry shake with that?
I don't do milk, dairy shit like that. But those Big Macs,
Back in the
I
day.
got them 2 for fucking $5. Yep.
Hey, crucial.
That's fucking fat. Sorry.
I was eating 2 of those when I was like 10 years old.
You know? So it's like, I know it's embarrassing because you feel like you did it to yourself. So who am I to like cry
Yeah,
about this
I was.
shit?
Yeah, and I put on Facebook. Remember the Facebook
Yeah, you
post
did.
I put on? Said I have cancer. This is what it is. I know exactly why I have cancer. You don't need to tell me.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
'Cause
I
I-
actually didn't reach out to family either because but then again, I don't want to put nobody on blast, but no, I didn't reach out to family.
I lost my best friend. My friend that I've had for 30 years was not so nice to me and did some not so nice things. And finally, about a year ago, I went, I'm not angry. I grieved it horribly. We talked every day. We knew each other's most intimate secrets.
So question. So at
And they said that was going to happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
at the bare end of all of that, and that person had cancer too?
No,
Oh,
she's
They
my
just
best
lost their
friend.
relationship.
Oh,
because-
lost the relationship.
because then when it's just it makes you rethink everything in your life, and then when certain things don't show up a certain kind of way that you expect it to, it's
Oh,
like
I thought you said that.
Yeah.
No. We were best friends, and because of what I went through, just some
things you just
she just did and said some things that I just couldn't get over. I wasn't angry. I just stopped calling, and she never called me. So that tells me right then and there she was a season in my life, not my
like
life.
that for a long time too, probably.
Isn't it crazy how you literally see things? You see life just in a different perspective.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I believe I don't know if it happened to you, but when I was told, my whole life flashed before my eyes when I got that phone call. That's bad news. Fast travels fucking fast, y'all, because that doctor called me. That doctor called me quicker than any other doctor's ever called me. I'm like, damn, you guys usually take 2 weeks to give me my fucking blood work. She called me literally in 2 days.
Yeah.
I saw her. She called me 2 days later, right before Thanksgiving, actually.
Damn. Before you eat another Big Mac and some fucking
turkey,
chicken.
mashed potatoes, mac and cheese,
You
all
all
that
that
shit.
fucking stuffing, weren't you?
Yeah, I sure was.
Motherfucker.
But bad news travels fast, right? That shit is true. And I remember my whole life, all I kept thinking was like, what the fuck have I done with my life? And then when you have kids, right? Mm-hmm. You think of who the fuck is going to be there for your kid.
No, it's so deep.
Well, my kid's grown up.
So
It doesn't matter though, but you're still their mother no matter what.
Oh yeah, no, I'm still his mom. I was sad thinking that maybe I wouldn't see my grandson.
Yeah.
I told you about that.
Yeah,
Lori.
but I did ask my oncologist when I found out my daughter-in-law was pregnant with the second one.
Because your radiation.
Right.
Chemo.
Well, I couldn't be. When I was having radiation, I couldn't be around the baby. And so we did FaceTime a lot, which...
You shouldn't really be around anybody with radiation, to be honest with you.
No, but they said, your husband's old, it's okay.
What?
No.
Because it's Kaiser.
They said, no, they actually said that they go, do you have a small dog? And I go, yeah, I have a Chihuahua. And they go, yeah, don't hold her. What? I'm sorry, what? It's just, it's weird.
You're radioactive.
Yes,
That's
it's
what it
weird.
is. Radiation being, yes.
Yeah,
even chemo, to be honest with you, even chemo.
You go into a room with a blast door to get radiation.
Yeah.
I mean, and the door is probably 7 inches thick.
So I have a story about that. So my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, had breast cancer, and she was stage 4, right? And so she was in the hospital, and I would visit her every day in the hospital because me and her, even though her son and I relationship didn't work out, she was still like my mother-in-law no matter what.
Right.
And I would always refer to her as my mother-in-law. And so she had radiation. I would go see her every fucking day. By the time I would leave her, I would be throwing up in the bathroom.
What the fuck?
Because of her radiation that she's projecting, and my dumbass would still show up, even though I probably shouldn't have. But it was like, she was by herself. I'm not gonna leave her by herself to just fucking deal with that shit alone.
I was gonna ask something, but I'm not. It's cool.
Go ahead, ask it.
I'm not gonna ask that question. That's another time. I'll talk about that off camera.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious what he's gonna.
I know.
I hate when he does that shit.
I'm just saying. Well, and I'll let you guys hear the question without me saying the question. You said that you would go to see your mother-in-law, and you were the only one that showed up for her.
Yeah,
hear my
that's
words.
That's off camera.
That's why I said what I said.
Yeah.
That's off camera.
But you got the question though,
camera.
right?
Yep.
So again, that just
edit this out, bro.
No, I don't fucking edit because I didn't ask the question.
Yeah, I know.
But
I got people watching.
Keep watching, motherfuckers.
But yeah, no, it's like you're radioactive, so you
Yeah.
definitely don't be around kids or animals or anything
so,
like that. People in general,
yeah,
really.
Yeah, and you can't be around anybody anyway because you don't have an immune system. You seriously don't have an immune system.
So, from all this, everything.
Yeah.
What is from today moving forward looking like?
Yeah.
Wow. I live every day to the fullest, and some days I do watch TV all day.
Shit, you gotta start training more. Look,
That
some days
could bring you happiness. If that's your happiness at that moment, then that's what it is.
I gotta love my murdery shows. I tell Greg I'm taking notes.
Damn, Nancy Drew.
So can I tell you guys a funny story?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I had cancer, like I said, he was with me all the time, and he had this geology. My husband is a geologist, and he had a reunion. There was a reunion of all his little geology buddies from college in Death Valley, and he wasn't going to go. He said, "It's 5 days. I'm not going to go. It's too long to be away from you." I said, how about if I go with you? And he goes, really? I go, yeah. I mean, we have a trailer with a fireplace. It's not like I'm going to be suffering.
Right.
And he said, okay. So we went and we're driving and we were in the middle of fucking nowhere. And I mean nowhere.
Death Valley.
We don't have cell signal. We have nothing.
Geologists.
Right.
They
yeah.
like the earth.
They love it. They love it out there.
That's what they
So we're
love.
driving along and we'd been quiet for quite a while. And I just looked over at him and I said, so cancer wasn't fast enough? You're taking me out here? And he just says, well, what is wrong with you? I don't know.
Funny.
I don't know, honey. I don't know.
You gotta find the humor in life.
You
At
do.
the end of the day.
You do. We both retired, and we're. I'm trying to get my health back, little by little, and
I think that's like it's a good question because it's kind of like a question that you really shouldn't want to answer because you should live every day like it's every day. Like you shouldn't think of don't worry about tomorrow. Definitely don't fucking worry about the past. Every day is like you just gotta take it every day for what it is.
I can't think about what's coming up in the future because I have CAT scans every 3 months.
Exactly.
And as much as I try to say it doesn't bother me,
It bothers.
It bothers me.
I just had a biopsy last week, so like I get it.
Yeah.
He called me. We couldn't even podcast that day. I was like, nope, I can't do it. I'm not doing it today.
Yeah.
And for me to say that, it's like a big deal because I usually show up all the time.
Right.
But
so, you want to throw it?
no, you can ask us the question.
Yeah. So it's your turn. This is about the tier end of the show right here.
Okay.
So it's your turn to ask us a question that you may have been. You can ask me whatever you want to ask me, and you can ask her whatever you would want to ask her. But do not ask us how
Or why.
me and her started this show.
Okay. I already know why.
Faithful listener. Hey.
Thank you.
I am a faithful listener,
Thank you.
actually. First time caller. Martel,
Yes, ma'am.
we have a very unusual relationship.
Yes.
And I tell people you're my son,
Right.
and you tell people I'm your mom. One of his clients really believed I was his mom.
The white mama.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. We laughed really hard. Yeah. I love his parents. I know most of the family.
Yeah.
What was it about me that got under your skin? That, you know what I mean? Like,
What do you mean?
like, why are we so close?
Well,
'Cause
the first day you met
I
me.
love him.
Well, not the first day you met me, because you know me from we can
Way,
talk about
way
it another
back.
time. But the first day you came in and you said, "If you don't help me, I'm gonna die."
Yeah, I did say that.
I said, "What the fuck? What the fuck?
What
you
the
asked me
fuck
that?
is she saying?
You know what I mean?" And you broke it down why you felt that way and what was going on with you. And I said to myself, I don't. When people come to me with that type of those type of saying those,
Energy?
like I feel like that's God sent.
I worked my ass
Because I
off.
feel like he knows the type of person that I am. So I'm automatically going to take that on. You know what I'm saying? And that's just who I am. And so when we first, had our first couple of years together and you lost that 87 pounds and then, we worked and we busted our ass, all of that. And then I'm going to tell you something. If you don't mind me saying it.
No, go ahead.
When your father passed.
Yeah, that was
That
tough.
is what made me really, really, really grab on because it was like, I don't know what it's like to lose a parent, but I've seen people lose parents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen my dad lose my grandma, stuff like that. And it was like, this shit got to be hard to come back here and try and show up for this shit every time. That's what it was. And I am a person of like, hey, you know who I am.
I do.
You know. And for me, it was like, you know what? Like, nah, you can't let this shit stop you. You know what I mean? Because I knew you went into depression deep.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So,
Yeah. It's bad.
I felt like, I'm not obligated to no one, but I felt like I was obligated at that point. You know what I mean? And so that's what had you there. You know what I mean? So that's really what it is.
That's nice.
Good to know.
Yeah. There you go. You got your answer.
I did.
Something you never knew.
Yeah, it is. That is something I never knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we are very close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vanessa's turn now. Go ahead and ask her a question. Go
Wow. I can't be as deep because I don't really know you as well.
That's why you're asking, right?
ahead. Yeah, that's where you ask a
Where
question.
were you born?
South Central. L.A.
Oh, L.A. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm from L.A.
My husband was born in South Central as well,
Hey,
but he was born a super long time ago. It wasn't known as South Central.
what, Southern California?
Yeah, it was just. He was actually born Florence and Normandy is where they lived.
Oh, I know exactly where that.
That's
Yeah.
Gardena.
Yeah.
Florence?
Well,
Florence?
it depends.
It's in between.
Yeah.
It's in between.
It's like one-
Inglewood and
yeah.
Gardena.
Yeah,
Literally.
they lived.
I don't know which
But
side
it's
that would
still-
be
it's
on.
still
but-
It
part
was
of
1958, so it was a bit ago.
that. If you're on the Normandy side, it is South Central. If you're on the other side of the freeway, which is going towards.
But it just depends because it's a weird. LA's tricky.
Yeah, I know.
Normandy goes like this, and Florence goes like this, and Florence. Yeah, that right there, that's South Central.
Yeah, Normandy goes north. No, it goes east and west.
I don't know
Wait,
the
hold
eastern
on.
way. I just know that off of the freeway, this is the 110 freeway, and this is Normandy alongside the fucking.
So the 110, if the 110 is going on, then it's going east and west.
So
No,
yeah, I know
it's
exactly
north and
where
south.
that-
Normandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
North is north and south because the 110 goes east and west.
So yeah, I definitely know where you're at, and that's not where I'm from, but yeah, I know exactly where he's at.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
So I laughed because we had a conversation, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway,
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't know.
Hold on,
I've talked
we'll
about this
talk
all
about
the
that
time.
later. No, I'm gonna tell you about it in a minute. But we up out of here.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Thank you.